You don't care how much money you make. You couldn't save 100 mil. It's in the investment. Because you think about a house in LA, if it's 700,000 today, it doubled every 7 year in LA, right?
Yeah.
That means 1.4 million. That means you made an extra 700 grand. How many years would it take you to save 700 grand?
Never.
I got
Welcome back to part 2 with Thach Nguyen. We were talking a little bit about how he had beat some crazy racketeering charges to end up where he is today. Where would you say in your entrepreneurial journey, I should say, that things really started to pick up beyond what you expected? Like, when was the point where you were like, this is getting bigger than that you would even...
You talking about in real estate or you talking just overall today?
In real estate.
In real estate first.
When you were selling 10 years of door knocking, when did that actually like upgrade to the next level?
And what did you think was the level?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when I was in real estate, I just wanted to make more money than my 3 jobs so I can quit my other 3 jobs, which is like 40 grand.
Dang, yeah. And that was it valet parking?
Valet, working at a grocery store, and working at a body shop.
Okay.
So now angel investing and
angel investing some
in multi-level marketing. Yeah, right.
And
angel investing.
After my 3rd year as a realtor, I started seeing progression because my first year I was selling like maybe 1 houses. My 2nd year I sold like 2 houses, and they're all to my mom and dad's friend, which is Asian. And then when you sell, you get the commission. They want half of your check back.
No.
Kickback.
Yeah, kickbacks.
You know, I did help you. I did you a favor. Oh, you did? Yeah, I'll let you sell me a house. So, how much is your check? 5 grand. Well, give me half of that. Really? Yeah. Otherwise, I'm gonna tell all the Asian people that you're a crook. That's what happened when I started, bro.
Damn.
They did me wrong, man. My own people.
Yeah.
And so my 2nd, 3rd year, I was selling a bunch of houses to a lot of my dad's friends, and it's just the culture. Everything is kickback. And okay, look, you're not gonna give me half of the money. Just buy me a new set of wash and drying machine. Which is almost damn half of the money anyways. right? I remember, bro, I used to sell a house. Then after I get my paycheck, I had to go down to freaking like Lowe's and find a set of wash and dry because I knew it was coming. You know what I mean?
You already know you gotta go get it?
Yeah. Because, just because they will say it during the transaction. Hey, what you gonna get me when I buy this off from you? Damn. So on top of coming up trying to make some money, I was taking 5 steps forward and then losing 3 steps backwards on my money.
And that's only like your own community would do that to you?
Yeah, bro. Asians.
I actually first heard about that through an Asian real estate agent. Like someone would tell me when I first bought, I think my first or 2nd house, they're like, yo, did you ask your agent for a kickback? I was like, what is that? He goes, well, it's 3%, so you can ask up to 1.5 if you want.
Yeah.
And like, if they're the true homie, they'll give you like 5% or whatever. I mean, 0.5%. And I was like, if they're the true homie, don't I want to hook them up?
Right.
And then they're like, no, yo, everyone always does it.
See?
Hey, so this generation of people is still doing that?
No, the new Asian generation, only the OG, my mom and dad generation did.
When I moved to Vegas, I did like, cause it does feel weird. So I was like, have you guys heard of anything about a kickback?
What are your thoughts about kickback? Back to LA. Week. Does 0.5% mean anything to you?
Get your ass back into LA.
Yeah, because I was like, it did feel weird. It almost felt like, where the fuck did you hear that from?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like.
And listen, it's only through the Asian culture, through the Asian realtor.
Yeah.
Only that. Only that, bro. So what happened was I had to sell more houses to actually see any decent money. Right. So my 3rd year, where I started seeing, I sold like 10 houses. So in my mind, now I'm rolling.
That's a good year.
That's a good year, bro. 10 houses.
That means you got like 20 fucking washers and dryers.
Well, what happened was as I got more and more, I started saying no to the people that said to me, "Let me get the wash and dry from you. I'm good." Because what happened when I started, I was an agent that worked with a lot of buyers. But as I started getting better, they said in real estate, if you can control the listing, it's the name of the game. So go out there, knock on the owner's house, ask them if they sell, and then you be the agent, list the property.
I see.
So that's why I got motivated, started door knocking. So I started door knocking in my 3rd year, which is the 100 door, to find sellers who want to sell their home. Because if I sell it, the seller never asked me for kickback. They just happy I sold their house.
Yeah.
And let the other Asian buyer agent sell it to other buyers. let them do the kickback on their commission. And that's where my business started turning, working with the seller. So I was trying to sell home was pretty much as much as I was making all 3 jobs. And that's when I got rid of Body Shop, Safeway, and then finally all 3. And then on my 4th year, I started making more money.
Was that always the plan though, that you had the 3 jobs and then you were trying to make real estate take the number 1 spot? Or if you blew up, let's say that you became like, I don't know, some valet parking tycoon, would you have just gone that way? Or like a body shop? Like if one of the other 3 jobs picked up in some miraculous way? Or were you always about, no, I gotta make, like, because why did you make real estate such a priority?
I was just, bro, when I was young, I was just wanted to hustle, just make some money.
Yeah.
I was around all my friends that was all hustling, you know, making $100,000 a year, you know what I mean? You know, doing entrepreneurship on the streets.
Right.
And I just wanted to just make some money so I could have nice cars, just like them.
But you knew real estate had the biggest potential to like blow up for you.
I heard that you get 7% of every house you sell, which is not all true. See? Because the seller pays 7% when they sell, right? Or 6%.
And then they split it between buyer, seller, agent.
Yeah, and agents.
Yeah.
So you only get a quarter.
Yeah.
Half of it go to Thach and John Scott, half it go to Bart and KW. And Bart would split half of that with his company. I split half of that with my company. So you only make a quarter of 7%. I didn't know that. So I figure I'm going in, I'm about to make $7,000 on every $100,000 house I sell. Now I'm going to come up. But it wasn't true.
That was the average price of houses you were selling?
Oh,
back then?
bro, when I started, bro, it was only like 75, 80 grand.
Dang.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah, and today those same houses are worth like $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 in Seattle.
Wow.
See?
Damn.
Yeah. So my 3rd year when I started making like, you know, 40, 50,000, and I wasn't planning on like, I just wanted to work as many jobs as I can so I could make some money.
Yeah.
But then what happened was, as I got more busy, I just couldn't put any more focus and time on these other jobs.
Right.
And I just figured, let's just spend more time. I didn't even have a vision of even making $100,000. I just wanted to make 40 grand to pay this off.
You just wanted to beat your other income.
Yeah, I never had a plan to even becoming a millionaire. That was so far out of fetch, it was crazy. That's like way out. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Way out there. Even my friend that was out there hustling on the street wasn't making $1 million. You know, they might have made $100,000.
Yeah.
Spend it, making that $100,000, spend it, right?
Yeah.
But for me to come from 626, aka 206 Seattle, talk about a millionaire, bro, that's like so far out of fetch, it's ridiculous. I was just taking it one day at a time, and they just 40 turned into 50, 50 turned into 60, 60 into 100. Holy shit, this is crazy.
So when you got rid of the other jobs, how many houses were you selling a year?
From there, I just started going up from there. 10, then my 4th year, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. And when I got to like 2005 or 6, I was selling 150 homes a year.
Wow.
Yeah, like 20 homes a month.
Did you ever have a slump after that?
Nope.
No slump.
No slump.
No matter what the economy did, you never had
No matter what. And the reason why, because I always knocked on 100 doors a day. Because I was always finding leads. Even when I was busy, I always told myself every morning from 9 to like 12 o'clock, I would spend that 3 to 4 hours looking for new sellers. In the evening, I would go and meet the seller, go list their house. So I always had lead generation time, service time. The problem with people is they get busy and they stop generating. Yeah. Even today, right?
Oh, it's because you're not acting as only an agent, but you're wholesaling.
Well, back then I was only an agent.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, back then I was just an agent. I was just out there looking for a seller who want to sell their home.
Yeah.
And then when I have an appointment to come back and do analysis and presentation, I would make an appointment like a day or two later. But when I got done, let's say today door knocking, and I have an appointment at 3, that was somebody I met 2 days ago that wanted to sell their home. Yeah. So I only was meeting with sellers.
Yeah, you had a good system going.
I had a good system going. Yeah. And that's how I came up, one home at a time.
And then you would lock in the contract with the seller pre-listed.
That's right.
So then it's...
That's my listing. I guarantee my 3%.
And back then, everyone wasn't on the Matrix or online, so then that makes sense. Like early 2000, late 90s.
Yeah. Nobody without door knocking getting listing, bro.
And then the way people looked for houses was on classifieds, paper, so you can actually control that house.
Everything, bro.
Yeah.
See? I'll control the inventory.
Because nowadays you go on Zillow, you got 20 agents on one home that just has access to the lockbox.
You should have seen the hate though, bro. I was you think about this, okay? Young agent dude, 21, 22 years old, the youngest agent, in an office full of white folks. The office was in an expensive part of the Seattle market. And here's a 21-year-old kid came in, going out door knocking what they called their turf. I remember this one guy said to me, "Yo, you can't be knocking on my neighborhood." Oh, really? You own the neighborhood?
It gets territorial like that. With
But I thought it was real though.
Yeah.
I went and talked to the broker like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was knocking on Maury King's turf." Brian was like, "No, nobody own no turf. Don't let him scare you. If you want to knock, go knock on it."
Well, how come they're not knocking? You just beat them to the punch.
What's up, guys? If you do not know, we have a Patreon. I want you to click in our description and go over there and check out all the beautiful stuff we have for you. It's super duper access for only our super duper exclusive lovers like yourselves. You're gonna be getting one never been released director's cut every week. But not only that, you get another fresh, too hot for YouTube video.
We say some crazy shit on there.
2 videos a week. But not only that, you get to join our Discord and come chat with us, direct access. We're in there, the whole Careful Boys in there, jumping in, dogpiling on people, laughing, playing, joking, whatever. And you can come talk to us directly.
So if you like what we do and what we've been doing for the past 10 years, please support our Patreon and click the link below to get all the details.
There's so many different tiers. You can see it when you click that.
Nobody. It's not tradition to go out there and knock on a stranger's house or call on a stranger's house, ask what they say. Or you wait for people to call you.
Yeah.
I see.
See what I mean?
But you're being more proactive.
Yeah, but you're just beating the competition.
That's it, bro. I was getting hate from all the agent in my own office, let alone the agent outside my office, because I was taking listing in their turf because they've been there for 10 years. Yeah.
damn.
People don't like change though.
You know.
Yeah, and they don't like people that work harder than them.
And chinks.
And chinks too. That's a big one.
Change and change.
Yeah.
That's what they used to say to me.
In the era when you were like door knocking and everything, how soon was it until you had your first like when you became a mentor for somebody, because you're so big on educating other people about it?
Yes.
Was that happening back then too, where you were before social media, were you taking on people that like?
So what
"Let me show you
happened
the
was
ropes"?
I was getting results, and then
people saw
after
you,
about 5-6 years into the game, there was a broker that had an office next door, and he recruited me to come over there. And Saul says, "Hey, listen, you're like the superstar, and this is rare to see a Asian, young, literally taking everybody's business, meaning listings.
It's kind of sick.
You know, listing. I wasn't taking the buy out of your pocket. I was just taking listing, and those are where people used to always send mailing in the neighborhood. You want to sell your home?
Yeah.
But they're waiting for someone to respond.
The notepads they always give you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I was beating everybody to the punch. So they would list with me, and they used to get so mad. And so then, Saul said, if you come to my office, I teach you how to take your money and park it into a rental property so you can have money work when you're sleeping. If you come there, then do me a favor. If you come to my office, would you be open to hosting a class once a month and just tell my agents in our office, what do you do every single day? How do you think? How do you go about taking listing? What do you say to these people?
Smart man.
Right?
Yeah.
If you come to my office and you want to do that every month, I will teach you how to take your money.
It was like a trade.
There was a trade.
Oh, sick.
So and then I left his office. So I started in 91. I went office and I left the Saul's office in 97, 6 years later. And that's where I started educating.
And the things that they taught you were actually some of the things you implemented?
That's right.
Damn.
So everything I learned from somebody else, I was doing it on the streets. And Saul was like, what the hell? This is crazy. This guy is killing it. So I went over there, and then every month I would host a class on a topic, what I'm doing. All he wanted me to do is tell him what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And everybody in the class now was taking notes. And then Saul would meet with me once a month and say, here, park your money in rental. Here's why. And that's why I learned investing.
And then those agents that learned from you, they blew up too.
They blew up. And that's how the education started. I wasn't getting paid for it. I was just getting traded.
That's
see?
cool. I didn't know that. Yeah.
So 97 is where I started teaching people. Just giving back to the
And
agent.
then more people would ask, because then the word would get around that, oh, they learned it from you.
And then people would want to come to Saul's office because they want to sit in my presentation because they see me out there. I mean, people will literally see me out and say, hey, this guy's knocking on doors. This guy's real.
Yeah.
And then, boom. You know what I mean? And so Saul was now getting more agent. I want to go sit in this presentation. And he was recruiting off of me. So he was a win. I didn't care.
Yeah, everybody wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was where education started. But all I was doing just doing me. So every day,
Yeah.
I just go do me for basically 3-4 hours a day, knock on the door, go on an appointment, and then once a month I just host a class for Saul. I wasn't getting paid, just doing it. You know, I'm happy to help.
Damn.
And then these agents would listen because they.
And it must have felt more like you're appreciated at this firm versus the other one.
Yeah, because they know your value.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Was there a time when you was like making money, maybe before you were learning about rental property investing and stuff, where because you started getting money, you were like irresponsible with it?
100%.
He went from lowriders to rental properties.
Before I met Saul, right? Cammy is the typical Asian, make $10, spend $2, save $8. Even today, with all the money we have, she still make $10, we'll spend $4. We don't put the rest away now, okay? It's just because she been habitual trained that way from her own family. She's born here. Her grandma and mom was born in Hong Kong, super poor. And the grandma, her grandfather was the first Asian Chinese that came to the United States on the railroad track. So you can see the depthness of scarcity.
Yeah.
So today, with the amount of money I make, and we make, me, Cam and I, if I was making $10, we'd spend like probably $2 or $3 and the rest go to savings.
That's good.
Like $2 or $3 is still Ferrari level, and at my level.
That's crazy.
You see what I mean? Right? I was spending money. The first thing we spent on was going out to eat at expensive restaurants. Right?
What's your favorite food back then?
Steak, lobster, mashed potato and gravy. And later within a year, I gained like 50 pounds. I'm gonna have to post one of these pictures when I'm like fat so y'all can see. You ever thought about showing your house?
I just had steak.
Yeah, because that was the rich man meal, right?
Yeah,
that's the thing. You think you made it, right? And but Cammy used to say we gotta slow down. These money. You know what I mean? We was, back then making $10, we were spending fucking like $8.
Did you buy every new thing that came out, like big screen TV or whatever?
That new money, man.
But first of all, remember, this is like fucking like back in the day, bro. There ain't no high tech nothing, right? The only thing you got was a freaking like 10-inch TV. That was already a baller. Of course, shoes, clothes. I was spending money on shoes and clothes. You know what I mean? And
I feel like
food.
you buy a lot of stuff that has good value though. Like even the cars you get
Today.
end up selling for like
Today
more.
though. Back then, no.
Yeah.
You just spend anything you make.
So when did that switch for you?
When I met Saul.
And he taught you about like passive income.
Money, passive income.
He sounds Jewish.
He is Jewish, bro.
What was that mindset change when you're like going, okay, I'm making money off commission. It's very active.
Yes.
To all of a sudden going, holy shit, there's a passive way of making it. Like, was that like a big perspective shift in your mind? And also sometimes, when you learn something new, it doesn't really stick.
Yeah.
Did it take a couple of things before it goes, oh shit, I really understand what he's trying to tell me?
What's interesting was Cammy already had this mentality in her mindset already. Because her grandma and grandpa was almost like entrepreneur. Yeah. Even though they didn't have a lot of money. This is why I always make video, and I appreciate people always saying passive income is slow. I'm not, I make $1 million a year. That's what they say. For me to get $1 million a year in passive income, it would fucking take forever. Which is true.
Yeah.
Right? So the mindset that I learned when Saul came to me, he said, look, the first thing I'm going to teach you is you don't stop making money from being a realtor. You need that money to feed the rentals. So you got to keep selling real estate. But what I want you to do is manage your money better, right? Still live a good life. Instead of eating steak every fucking night, you know what I mean? Once a weekend or something, you know what I mean? Then take that money and just buy a rental. And just let it sit. Let the tenant pay for it and just let it sit. Just like stock. Don't worry about paying it off. Just for now, just buy it. And Cammy was like, oh yeah, I like this. Because I remember the line he said to me, and Cammy was like this. He said, and him and I were sitting, and he said, you see that tree outside? That tree grows even when you're sleeping. So you want your money to grow even while you're asleep. And the only way you do that, go buy yourself a rental and let the tenant pay for it. And we won't talk about paying it off. We won't talk about just go buy, just park it. We're not gonna talk about living off the passive income. Just keep doing what you're doing and just park it. Just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Right? And that was a simple step for me. So we lived with my mom and dad. I was selling houses. I was still selling like freaking like 30 homes a year, still living with my mom and dad.
Damn.
Right? Because you know how Asian folk who live till I was 90.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can stay here as long as you want, son. And then I just bought one house. And then eventually what happened was in my second year, Cam and I made a commitment. And we said, look, no matter what happened, we should buy 2 houses every year. Minimum.
No matter what happens.
No matter what happened. That's the minimum we should do. So we had to freaking like not eat steak for a whole year. Let's just do it. Well, it was simple though.
Damn,
You can remember, right?
how much are these steaks?
No lobster?
Well, the down payment back then was like what, 20 grand, 30 grand.
Down
Were you getting it financed or?
Yes,
were you,
finance,
oh, yeah.
down payment.
Yeah.
But what I did, it still works today. I'm gonna buy this as my primary residence, and you can put down 5%.
Yeah.
You still do it today.
Yeah.
First time home buyer.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and after, I wasn't burring back then. I just bought it clean, painted it up, and after I painted it all up, I decided, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna still stay at home, and I turned it into a rental.
Dang.
Right? And then I rented it out. It covered the mortgage, and then I bought me a second house. I did the same, painted it, and then
I wish I knew you back then, man.
the goal was to buy 2 minimum every year, no matter what happened. Let's just commit to that.
I could have bought like 20 already, but I blew all my money in risky investments. And a lot of steak.
And I say,
Tea shop, baby.
Crypto, restaurants, startups, bro, like
Prostitutes.
yeah.
well, that's the more expensive one, but yeah.
But anybody could have done it, bro. You think about it, right? You're right. So I just bought 2, and then when I made a little more money, then we bought 3, and that became our new standard, 3 every year.
Dang.
And we did that. It just, and I never thought about it. I was just knocking on the door.
Just to give a scale
Yeah.
to everybody watching,
Yeah.
about how many times have you done this to this point?
Today, I still do it today. I already bought since June,
Like how
since
many?
January to now. I already bought like 7 houses already.
How many properties in your lifetime do you think you bought?
Right now, I own probably in single family houses. I own probably over 100 houses.
Because he owns apartment complexes too.
Complexes,
Yeah,
multi-unit
I'm thinking,
complexes.
like for people that don't know you, I wanted them to know exactly the scale of what you're operating
Yeah.
at.
And remember, I didn't start buying
crazy.
my first house until like 97, 98. I only could afford my first year or two with only 1 house a year. And not until like probably like 99, 2000 when I said two every year, all the way to scale.
Do you sometimes knock on your own house not knowing you own that?
God damn! But I do have people cold calling me though. Hey, Thach Nguyen, bro. But what I always tell people is, I wasn't buying houses to trying to get out of my job to live out the passive income.
Yeah.
I was just buying houses. I was just making money and parking it, and just let it grow and let the mortgage get paid down. But everybody on social media, I was like, it's fucking stupid. Having passive income is stupid because it takes forever to get $1 million a year. Today,
Imagine calling passive income
look,
stupid.
I started.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'll put this in context so people see.
Yeah.
So in 97, I bought my first one. And not to apply 2000, I bought like 2 and more, right? Today, right? Today I have like $100 million with net worth in real estate.
Your portfolio is worth.
$100 million. Wow. Okay? Now, most of them is paid off. Every month right now, I get about over $100,000 a month in passive. Passive. But I still got mortgage in some of them. If I don't buy no more property, none, and if I don't trade it up for any more better one, and I just kept it like that, and I just pay the rest of them off, the rest of them will be, if I look at my gross rent, it'd be close to 300 grand a month. So when it's paid off, it'll be at 300,000 a month, which is 3.6 million a year in passive.
Passive.
If I don't trade up my property, do nothing, my portfolio, by 18 years from now, I'll have $1.8 billion I'll be a billionaire.
Oh yeah, because of the appreciation.
You got it. See? It's just parking it.
Yeah.
So you're using it as more of like an investment bank account.
You got it.
And not really trying to be, I want to be like passive and live free and whatever. You still have your active, you still do your real estate.
I still have my active income.
But the rental properties now become a better option than a stock or bank account.
It outperform.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, you couldn't save $100 million in your lifetime. You don't care how much money you make. You couldn't save $100 million. It's in the investment. Because you think about a house in LA, if it's $700,000 today, it doubled every 7 years in LA, right?
Yeah.
That means 1.4 million. That means you made an extra 700 grand. How many years would it take you to save 700 grand?
Never.
That question is probably going to take a whole video.
Okay, let's
But
do
the
the next
question,
one.
I'll bring it up here so they can watch that next video. But I think with people would say when you were doing this, the barrier of entry was much more easier because you could buy a house for 50 grand or whatever, right? So what do you say to the people that are living in LA, New York, all these high, cities where it's like, yeah, even for me, like I got the money, but if I had a choice between putting 200 down on a house or starting a business, I always go for business, and that's why I'm in the position that I am with zero money.
Stay tuned.
The secrets.